Here are 5 tips for making a restaurant quality steak at home for a fraction of the cost. First thing you're going to want to do is make sure you're bringing your steak up to room temp. About 30 minutes before you want to cook it, take it out of the refrigerator and just let it warm up. This helps ensure that the steak will cook evenly throughout, and it also makes sure that you're not going to be getting steam. If you put a cold piece of meat into a hot pan, you're going to create steam, and that will eliminate any type of crust that you're trying to get. Next, you're going to want to make sure you're salt and peppering the entire steak, all sides, and you're going to want to make sure to wait until right before you're putting the steak on the heat to put the salt on. This is because if you put it on too early, it'll draw the moisture out and it'll lead to the same steam problem. You can dry brine, which I talk a little bit more about in my website, but for simplicity, we're just going to salt right before it goes on. You are also going to want to make sure you're searing all sides of the steak, especially if you have a steak with a large fat cap. You want to make sure you're rendering that down and paying close attention to that. Then you're going to want to take your steak off a few degrees cooler than your preferred temperature, and you're going to let it rest. So the steak will continue cooking as it's resting, and it locks in those juices as it's sitting. And finally, cut against the grain. This shortens the muscle fibers and makes it way more tender. Enjoy!